knowing what I know now, I can guarantee you it's not a scam. You know, I'm gonna show everyone that it's not a scam.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. Yes. Hey, I did a video last year about Akon, Mr. Con Man. You know, that video reached almost 200,000 views, which got in the hands of many other people. Even the BBC was able to pull him aside, sit him down, and interview him. And others have tagged along to do videos. And so I'm elated because my video, I know he's seen, and I know others contacted him, and he was questioned, pulled on the carpet. Let's listen to the interview and what Akon says he is going to do if people don't get their money back. Check it out.
I think the one thing that I would have changed was I would have gotten more things in place before promoting it. Because one thing I realized was that, especially in Africa specifically, there's a lot of people that's not knowledgeable of how these things work and the processes that it takes to, you know, to build a city, or a process that it takes to, you know, successfully, you know, pull off a project this large.
I'm sure you're aware of reports in the Senegalese media that the Minister of Tourism in Senegal said either you respect the lease agreement on the land or the project will be reassigned to other investors.
Right.
So do you still have the confidence of the government?
Politics has always been one of the biggest blockers of anything that forwards economy or the people. I would have unlocked information as things moved forward because, unfortunately, because of me promoting it before we got started, we never anticipated COVID, you know, where everything would be pushed back 2 years. Because the beauty of it is, while we were doing that, we were still working with potential partners. And it gave us actually, I mean, a huge advantage, because then I was able to really, you know, step back and evaluate companies that we can really partner with, that understood the terrain, that understood Africa, that had, you know, real credibility in projects globally, but also had the experience to bring the kind of people we needed on board to kind of get that project going. Because had that not happened, I think I would have made some really fast decisions that I started making that allowed me to kind of wind back and say, whoa, hold on for a minute. Because I'm glad that happened, because had it did not happen, I would have made some decisions I probably would have had to unwind, for sure.
Okay, so when will we see construction work start on Akon City itself?
So the construction work, that is yet to be fully calendared. We'll start creating a scheduling according to when the studies all come back. So from the environmental studies to the sand studies, soil studies, all kind of studies that I don't even know what studies mean anymore. But ultimately, once they get all the results from there, then from there they'll kind of do what they do, engineers get all locked in, and then from there they'll put together a construction schedule according to when the studies all come back.
As if it couldn't get any worse, Akon City today is an utter ghost town. Last year, this picture went viral of one singular Minecraft concrete brick laid in the center of Akon City, showcasing an extreme lack of progress being made considering the fact that Akon said the city would be done by 2024. However, there is a little more than just this one stone. Today in 2024, you can see the first completed building, an extremely standard and non-futuristic building that they say is a recreational center. There's also another small, barely constructed building with a spiral staircase, which to be fair does look like a small version of what the original vision depicted. However, 99% of the land remains vacant with wild cattle grazing. Yes, technically construction has begun, but as you can see, this is a far cry from the futuristic megacity we were promised.
You'll be aware that there was a project that started before the release of Akon as a cryptocurrency.
Yes.
And it was called Tokens of Appreciation. And in that project, there were people who sent money in, people who wanted to back your campaign and wanted to see the cryptocurrency project take off. And later there were delays with Akon City and with Akon. And those people were offered refunds. Now, I've spoken to a number of those TOA or token of appreciation holders, and a year ago they were promised refunds and they haven't received them yet.
Unfortunately, me being who I wasn't monitoring the situation, and I wasn't as hands-on as I was supposed to be, or as I was led on to be, because I was the face, and this is, my idea and my dream. Now everything is under new management. All the people that did have tokens, we made sure that we got in contact with everybody to make sure that as we're building the super app, that whatever their contribution was to Akon, that same equity value will be, contributed back to them in this new project.
That was for people who chose that they wanted to stick with the project. Some people were offered a chance, if you wanted a refund now, you could leave. And they said, we would like to leave. We've put in hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, and we don't believe in the project anymore. And for those people, they asked for that money last year in 2021, and they've still not received it in 2022. Were you aware of that?
Now that I wasn't aware.
Akon admins offered a refund to their initial donors. One donor named Marcus said, "The refund was meant to come a few weeks later. We are now over a year, and we're back at the same situation we were years ago with the lack of communication, and now everybody's up in arms." But Marcus isn't alone. The owner of the Go Black to Africa YouTube channel showed proof of him emailing Akon admins only to be ignored for years. The YouTuber wrote to Andrew of the Akon Foundation requesting a refund on December 19th, 2021. Andrew replied 22 days later and said that the YouTuber was added to the list for refund requests, and we will be reaching out shortly regarding further details on how to proceed. The YouTuber provided his physical mailing address, which Andrew claimed was the next step towards a refund, only for him to be ignored for 4 months with no refund, and now it has been 3 years and still no refund.
Because I know all the people that I knew that was on record, we definitely met with everybody, and this was the agreement that was actually agreed on. So if there was anyone outside of that, I definitely wasn't aware.
And those people who asked for their money back and were expecting it a year ago, when will they receive their money?
Well, that I'm just literally on everything finding out. So I'm gonna definitely get more involved and figure out what that's about. But we do have instruments in place to make sure those people are happy. Even if I gotta go in my own pocket. Even if I gotta go in my own pocket. Even if I gotta go in my own pocket. I'm dead serious.
You'll pay out of your own pocket?
Hell yeah, I would, because they believed in me. Why wouldn't I? I would do a world tour just to pay them all back.
Akon blamed the pandemic, saying everything would be pushed back by 2 years, which doesn't really make sense considering he announced Akon City to the international media when the pandemic was at its worst moments. The unfortunate part about the land that's just sitting unused is that the land belonged to several hundred people who are still owed compensation from the Senegalese government. The first phase of Akon City was supposed to be built on 55 hectares of land secured by Sapco in 2009, eventually expanding onto a further 500 hectares by the end of the decade. Macky Sall, the president of Senegal, said, "My problem concerning the land is not with Akon. My problem is concerning Sapco, because it is them who took the land from the villagers." Originally, the Senegalese government's tourist board, Sapco, was backing the project, saying, "We believe in Akon City and we are all supporting Akon so the Akon City will come to life. It will attract tourists and investors in the region, and Sapco is fully committed to the success of this project." But most recently, they have sent Akon a formal notice that if the project has not advanced by next year, its contract with him will be terminated.
So Akon, it's time for you. As you said, you will go on a world tour. It's time for you to start shaking that ass, twerking. It's time for you to start breakdancing. It's time for you to start rapping, singing, or whatever you can do. Because it came out of your mouth, you will go ahead and refund everybody's money back. And I know I'm going to run into you because I've already spoken into the atmosphere. And when I do run into you, let's see if you're man enough in front of everybody when I go live to see, are you a man of your word to be able to refund everybody's money? Family, great lessons learned. That sometimes when you have a heart to help people, you got to take a step back and really see, are these people really genuine? And there's no way really to even find that out until after the facts. But I have to thank my wife, who has been a great business partner with me, who have been on my side as I've gone on this journey, that we have built our lives off of our businesses alone. And I tell people, do things alone, because when you do with other people, sometimes you might be connected with a wolf. Well, this is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa.